The Short Take with Alex and Jake.
Hello and welcome to The Short Take, the podcast where we talk about all things short films, apart from when we don't. I'm your host Jake, and with me as ever is my co-host Alex.
That's me.
That is you. How you doing this week?
I'm alright.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Episode 21
Very
now.
clearly not okay. You should have...
Episode 21. And it's your pick, so you should be happy, really.
Okay.
It's your pick.
It is my pick.
Do you want to go? You got something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, this is weird. I don't know if you want to keep this in or not.
Okay.
This is the last episode of recording of the podcast in its current iteration.
Oh, yeah.
Is that fair to say? Can we talk about that?
I don't know. I don't know whether we want to talk about it yet.
I just think it's interesting because the final
Yeah.
episode, we don't talk about it. There's no vibe of it being the last one because at the time we didn't know it was going to be
Yeah, that's
the
true.
last
That's
one
very true.
of what it is.
Yeah.
I just think we've come a long way in
We
two
have.
seasons.
Yeah. 2
We've
years.
done 2 seasons.
I know.
That's impressive.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like we're giving up.
No.
We're just doing something different.
And I technically got to do the last episode.
I guess. I mean, we still have the review episode, and we also still have a couple of special episodes, don't we?
Yeah, that's true.
But they're not the short take.
But we're not going to be bringing a short film every
Exactly, yeah. We're not doing... I don't think we're reviewing any more... In our linear time, we
Yeah.
are not reviewing any more short films.
Yeah.
There is one more episode after this, but we recorded it. Who knows when? You work it out.
I still can't remember what episode I said was the best episode.
Neither can I.
Fuck. I'm so excited to hear that one, just to hear that.
So episode 21.
We're on episode 21. I've brought a short film.
Yes.
And I just want to say, whereas you brought your stinky short film for the final episode, I thought I'd treat the audience.
To a worse one.
How dare you? You dare to say that your stinky little short film is better than this one?
My one's got George McKay in it.
No, I'm talking about next episode.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Next
your
episode.
stinky little short
No,
film.
that is an incredible
It's
film.
a stinky little short film. And you know what, actually, George McKay's one was also a stinky little short film. This is a fragrant short film. So, I've wanted to watch, before I say what this is,
Yeah.
I've wanted to watch this short film for a long time.
Me
and I
too.
just have never found it anywhere. It's always been inaccessible.
To me, it was more of a, I didn't know it was unaccessible, I'm just lazy.
Okay, excellent. No, for a long time, ever since the feature came out, hint hint, as if they can't read the title of what the video is. Yeah, for the longest time I was like, oh man, I heard they made a short to get it funded and I really want to watch that short because I'm so curious, because, yeah. And I was just looking for a short film the other day and I discovered that it's available. It's been available for like 2-3 years. And I was like,
I think just
what?
a year.
I was like, excuse me? But yeah, today we're looking at Whiplash.
Whoa.
Written and directed by Damien Chazelle. But it's not a feature film, Jake. It's not the feature film from 2014, Whiplash. This is a
What?
short film from 2013 called Whiplash, also directed by
That's so
Damien
confusing.
Chazelle, also written by Damien Chazelle, also starring J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not Miles Teller.
This is blowing my mind. I'm very confused right now.
Yeah, no, well.
Is it very similar to last season where we did Hero 2 times?
I mean, no, because
And it
we
was the
haven't
same
done
film.
Whiplash.
Maybe we should.
Ooh, that's the finale. The true finale. Do we do Whiplash? Where do we go from here?
Do you have a synopsis for us?
I do have a synopsis. A ferocious, bullying music teacher teaches a dedicated student. That's it.
That's what you get.
No.
Doesn't even say what he's teaching him.
Here it does. Music teacher.
Oh, okay.
Idiot.
Do you know, like, a budget or anything like that? I keep seeing that clip from J.K. Simmons recently popping up where he was like, oh yeah, we got paid like $80 to make this film.
Yeah, I for some reason, and this might be complete bullshit, I feel like I read or heard somewhere that it was like $5,000. I'm only pulling that out my ass though, to be honest with you.
Right.
But yeah, there's been a lot of interviews recently, and for some reason this clip's like surfacing of them talking about the short, which is
Yeah.
very interesting. I don't know why it's suddenly popping up everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's really weird.
But
We're obviously buying into the hype.
yeah, I think we are the hype of the 2014 film that at the time was hyped.
Yeah.
But yeah, the story behind this is that Damien Chazelle, who, one thing I really want to say before we talk about this film at all, he hadn't directed anything before making this short film. This is
Really?
the first time he directed anything, which is fucking insane.
Yeah. What was he doing before that?
Music. But he's into music.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's what the film's about. It's like
Yeah.
about his kind
But
of
like,
sort of experience.
what in music? Do you know what he was doing? What his career path
I
was?
don't. I honestly don't.
No,
I
okay,
mean,
fair enough.
jazz music, he's very much into, obviously.
Yes, he is very much.
I assume he was in some way a drummer. I don't know though. Maybe that's just.
Yeah, I think this is obviously a personal experience for him. It's
It's like a collection
on-
of personal experiences. More to do with how his experience of being in that world of like music stuff and how it seems to him, and like obviously it was at the time that nobody really knew what it was like.
Yeah.
In the way that he depicts it.
I do feel like he was a drummer. That
Actually,
is kind
has
of
to be,
like
right?
Yeah, it's kind of like hitting something that I remember hearing.
But he wrote the feature script first.
He did. I know this.
And then he sent that to J.K. Simmons at some point. J.K. Simmons read it and was like, this is fucking great. And then he agreed to do the short to get it funded.
Yeah.
And the short is basically just one of the opening scenes of the film. There is technically stuff before this in the film, but
There is, yeah.
this is the first big scene in the film.
Can I just say also, Damien Chazelle not having directed anything before, being an absolute nobody, and just sending a feature-length film script to J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I'm not sure how exactly. Obviously, he didn't personally send it to him. It's not like he just like.
It just made its way to him.
It made its way to him through agents, I assume, and stuff like that.
Yeah, mad though.
It is mad. It's really insane, and it's like, and it shows like how it can work, which is.
I mean,
just
similar thing happened with Quentin Tarantino, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was really Harvey Keitel jumping on Reservoir Dogs that made Reservoir Dogs,
and it made its way to Harvey Keitel in like a weird way.
Yeah.
Probably similar to this.
No, very similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he just made this scene. He directed his first ever fucking short film, and it was perfect. And he was like, well, I guess I'll go and make a really good fucking feature now.
Yeah.
And they made Whiplash, which is like arguably one of the best films made. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
But
and then he kept on going and he made more.
Yeah, he kept on going. Basically, to break down what this short film is, it is the scene in the feature of Whiplash, if you've seen that.
It's his first day.
Neiman's first day joining their group, their band, I guess.
Yeah. Do you remember what they're called? It's the something brass band, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a jazz band. They are part of a really prestigious program, I believe, is what the idea is. Hence why their tutor, Fletcher, who apparently isn't... His name's never dropped in the short, which is interesting.
No, it's not.
But yeah, in the original film, and I assume because of that in this, he's Fletcher.
Yeah. I mean, he's called Andrew Neiman in this as well. Like,
it's
the same in the film.
Yeah, so he's a very military, manipulative, gaslighting, terrifying presence who is basically introducing Neiman to this new horrible world of music. Yeah, if you've seen Whiplash, you've seen this scene. It's the scene.
Yeah.
I feel like all the trailers had this scene in it.
Yes,
in
they did.
some form. Yeah.
They were a lot more orange.
Yeah, it wasn't all orange. Yeah, that's the biggest difference.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk about the good?
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot.
There is a lot. I think there's two things that stand out to me the most that I really, really loved.
Sorry, something we should say really quickly before we get into that as well. The main actor in this obviously isn't Miles Teller.
No, it's not. Yes, sorry, we haven't mentioned that.
No. He is something Simmons, Johnny Simmons.
Yeah, is it not his son, I'm guessing?
No. Give me 2 secs. I've never thought about that.
Because I didn't even, the first time I watched it, I didn't even clock that his surname was Simmons. And then when we just watched it, I was like, oh, are they like related? Did J.K. Simmons get into it? And then he was like, hey, kid, do you want to be in the film?
I mean, he's definitely not his son. Okay, no, but he has played his dad in something.
Weird.
But
they're not related.
His suffocating parents are portrayed by J.K. Simmons, brackets, no relation, and Bello. I don't know who Bello is.
Okay.
I don't know what that is either that they're talking about.
Nice, good information.
Yeah, I don't know. But not really, funnily enough. But yeah, Johnny Simmons plays Andrew Neiman in it, and he is, you would have seen him in Scott Pilgrim plays Young Neil. He's in, I believe Evan Almighty is the son. I might be wrong on that. He pops up all the time. He's one of those people. Jennifer's Body, he's in.
That's the one I was trying to think of, yeah.
He's Jennifer's Body. And yeah, he pops up a lot. And before you say whatever you're going to say, I think he's very good in it. I think he brings a different vibe to Miles Teller.
Okay,
and I don't know how well the film would work as a whole, the feature, with him instead of Miles. So I think there's I don't know if I could see him doing some of the later stuff that happens in that film. But I think he definitely brings a really specific version of that character in this version, like just this scene, that is really interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Sorry, Carol.
So my two big takeaways from this film that I loved. The first one is pretty obvious. The music.
It's very good.
It's very good.
Very
The
good.
whole, like, the sound design in general
Yeah.
is really, really strong. Like, when he comes in and he's playing with the drum kit to begin with.
I was wondering if they are recording the sound of them playing in that room, or if they went to a studio somewhere to get them to play.
I would guess they went to a studio
It's just with the low budget. I wondered if
if they just wanted to do it in one hit.
and it is like technically a sound studio, right, or some kind. It's
I
made
would
to be played
guess
in.
so, yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe they did, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
But it sounded very, very good.
Yes.
The way everything works,
Mhm.
like, you know, like bringing in the different noises and whatever,
Yeah.
and like cutting it off and stuff. It just sounded good. It was
Yeah.
just very good. I'm not a musical person in the slightest.
Mhm.
I have no idea if those people are like out of tune or whatever. It means nothing to me.
Yeah.
It sounded good. Even when the guy was like supposedly playing out of tune, I was like, that sounds alright. I don't
Yeah.
know.
This is fun.
I don't know. And then the other really big thing for me was not only J.K. Simmons' acting presence, but the way he is present in the framing. It has these, like, obviously, like, the mediums and the wide shots of, like, the whole room or whatever. But when he's having personal conversations with people, it
Yeah.
cuts to these really, really, like, extreme close-ups of their faces.
Yeah.
And in J.K. Simmons' shot, it's just him. He takes up the whole
It's like
screen.
just trapping them.
Yeah, and then in the reverse of the person, he's also taking up most of the screen. It's
Yeah.
like there is no escaping this guy. He is everywhere.
Yeah.
And also, I think this kind of is part of the same point, but his costume design of wearing just a black t-shirt, it means when he's taking up the screen, it's just void. There's just
Yeah.
nothing because it's just black. And I think that it works so well to encapsulate that kind of terror
100%.
and the like. Yeah, there's no escaping this guy.
Yeah.
He is everywhere,
It's
and he
terrifying.
controls your life now.
It's really is genius. Like, and again, it pisses me off. Damien Chazelle, it's his first ever
Yeah,
thing he's directed.
Makes me
and
angry.
It's like, how the hell do you do that? Like,
yeah,
I mean, you can have a good DP and stuff, and they can help you with all that shit. But like at the same time, it's like the knowing what to cut to and stuff, like
Yeah.
when to cut to it. Like the scene where he comes in, like the way that's edited, like the way the band stands to attention, and it cuts to the thing of his feet coming in. It's like a Dutch angle,
yeah,
and it almost feels like in that angle, especially from where in the room it is, it feels like you could be Neiman going like leaning to look around to see him coming in.
I think he kind of does, doesn't he?
Right? Like-
yeah. Also, in that same scene, the first shot is of the clock, and as soon as it hits
It's like,
the
duh,
hour,
duh, duh.
he comes in,
and yeah,
and it gives you that like military
you're like,
precision.
oh, okay, he's like
like,
serious.
yeah, without having to say anything, it
Yeah.
gives you that like immediate like, oh, he is a presence.
I think also the acting of the like the members of the band, the students, or whatever you want to call them, their performance in the sense that in those like in that scene, they're not giving a ton, but you can tell just from their vibe that you're like something's up. Like
Yeah, they're uncomfortable.
yeah, exactly.
And they're just kind of like, it's kind of this sense of like they know their fate and they're just accepting it.
yeah. Well, it's that thing of just all they do want to be here,
Yeah.
but it's like at what cost and everything.
Well, that's what the
Um,
feature's about, isn't it, really?
Exactly. I really, really like both of the main performances in this. Obviously, I think are fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, I think they play off each other really well. The writing has a lot to do with that. Obviously, I think it's so well written. The dialogue's
Yeah.
so fucking sharp.
It's very tight.
It's so tight. It's insane. Like back and forth, and like it's so precise
Mm-hmm.
in every single word that it's like the scene where they stand outside for the break.
Yeah.
Which also is it's such a good way to break up this short, where it's like the first section is him entering this room. We see just through the way he interacts with the drum set that we can immediately be like, oh, he loves music. Like this
Yeah.
guy loves this.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah,
a part
yeah.
of him. Then we get the scene where all the people come in, and then we see he's nervous around them. There's the scene where he's asking the guy for the note. He's like, "Can I get a B flat?" And,
Yeah.
like, the way he asked, then he doesn't get the chance to ask again when he really needs it.
Yeah.
Like he just gets moved on. He doesn't say anything. He's like, "I don't want to rock the boat. Like
Yeah.
I'm already nervous about being here." And then obviously then get to see the band do all their shit, and then seeing Fletcher go off for the first time, like properly, and it's
Yeah.
scary. Then they go for the break, in which we then just get this moment between him and Neiman
Yeah.
outside, and he's like interrogating him, but in a really friendly way, which is really weird.
I mean, it uses
And-
that same framing of like,
He's such a good actor that
Yeah.
there's a part of you that's like, oh, he's nice.
yeah, but then it still has that same framing of like him taking over the
He
scene.
puts
So
his
it's like
hand next to him on the wall,
subconsciously
yeah.
we do know that he is.
And it's interesting because then all the stuff he asks him about, he then berates him about later. Like, he asks him about his dad and his mum and everything, and then
Yeah.
when he's in there and he's properly yelling at him, he's like, your fucking dad, that your mum left your dad, which apparently wasn't Eugene O'Neill or whatever, and like using all that shit he told, personal shit he told him to
Yeah.
fuck with him, which is so insane.
Yeah.
And again, the thing of him trying to be like, oh, we're buddy. There's the line where he's like, oh, we got like Buddy Rich over here, and then like Neiman smiles,
Yeah.
and it's like just before he like stops. Like,
Yeah.
he builds him up so he can push him down.
Yeah.
And it's so insane. But the fact you kind of know that's happening, but there's also a part of you, I really think his performance is so good as Fletcher. There's a part of you that does believe him when he says like, oh,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
good. It's like, oh, okay, nice. He likes him.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
you have the like,
oh.
you've got the kind of like, oh, he's won him over, like he's
Yeah,
won this
yeah.
horrid guy over, but you, in the back of, like in your subconscious, is like, nah, something's
No,
up,
no.
something's up.
And then it was.
Yeah.
It's a great scene to use to portray what the film is. First of all, it's a really good encapsulation. It's like when you do a pilot. I always say the Breaking Bad pilot is one of the best pilots ever written, because that entire episode of Breaking Bad, the first episode, basically does the entire journey of what the character's going to go through in a miniature version, and then the show still somehow works. Like, it carries on from there. Like, it's not like, oh, well, it's done now. It's like, no, we've taken him from this to this, but he can go further. It's just that we've shown you the kind of arc he will go on.
Yeah.
And I think that's nuts that works.
Yeah.
But I think this is similar in the sense that, like, this scene is the entire film. But
Yes. Yeah.
but
It works.
condensed.
It works as a story on its own, completely.
Exactly.
Like, you don't need.
And it has the same themes, it has the same, like,
Yeah, you don't need any
morals,
extra
whatever you call
context
it. No, exactly.
for it to work.
Which is insane. I think the editing's really, really good, which I kind of mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I really took note of the end bit. The very final shot / cut is so perfectly timed.
Yeah.
With them, like, it's just the slow zoom kind of, or dolly pull away from Neiman behind
Yeah.
the drums, and you kind of have Fletcher in the kind of side of the screen, and it's just him kind of retreating to behind the other guy who's about to start playing instead of him, and then just as soon as the music starts going to credits, and it's like, oof.
Yeah.
It's like those moments in films, whether short or otherwise, where you just get those perfect
Yeah, because it's like,
cuts or moments, and you're like, oof.
it's like the story's done. Okay, we're out here.
Yeah.
Like,
And
there's no sticking
we all
around.
know it. We all know it. And
Yeah.
it's just like, and here you go, and we're going to make sure it's perfect for you. And it's like,
Yeah.
oof.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I loved it. Because you kind of like, you know that's what the ending's going to be.
Yeah.
And it just works so well.
So well.
Yeah. It really, really gets to the groove right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love a lot of the shots and the editing in this, because it, like, at times it feels self-indulgent
Yeah.
in, like, the way he's holding on all the not the audience, on the band members. But also, like, you're like, well, no, it is telling a story. Like, there is a purpose for this shot being in the film.
Yeah.
It's to show, like, how uncomfortable they are or whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, the first time they start playing music, and I think it starts on the current drummer, and he looks terrified.
Yeah.
Like, you can see it in his eyes, he looks terrified. And then they rack focus, and it's on J.K. Simmons' arm,
Yeah.
I think. And then and then you kind of stay with it, and it's like he's holding the room, like he holds so much power in his arm.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, let's go. And then it just like blasts into the music. And I think the camera doesn't, I can't remember exactly, I don't think it cuts, and then the camera starts like swinging around the room, and you're kind of like vibing with this music, and you're like, oh yeah, it's going well. And then I think it hard cuts when he's like, okay, no, something's up, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Really lends to that, like, cutting the tension, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like an immediately, like, it lulls you into this, like, oh yeah, something nice is happening, and then cut, something horrible is happening.
So good.
It works so well.
Okay, so there's a lot good about this film, Jake.
There is a lot good about this film.
Is there a lot of bad?
I would say personally, not really. No.
Is there anything bad you can think of? I've got a couple of things.
The only way I think I can frame the bad is by comparing it to the feature, which I think is unfair.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, I think that the film just looks better. Like, the set is better, the color grading is better.
Yeah, the production design and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
And yeah, the colour grading
But then it's
definitely more
like,
interesting.
they made this for 5K.
Yeah,
It's
or whatever it
still
was.
good without
Yeah.
that production behind it. I don't think it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it needs it. But it's hard because there is that comparison,
Yeah.
because the feature exists.
My bad is basically nitpicks, but I'm going to say they're bad.
Okay, I think I have one nitpick.
In the bit where they all stand up to attention. The footage is slightly sped up. I don't like that bit. It pisses me off.
Right.
And
okay.
And weirdly, I don't know if there's something linked to that. The shot of when he walks in, the frame rate's weird.
Oh, is it?
I don't know what it is. It's the shot of his feet when he comes in. As much as I like that shot, there's something weird about the frame rate, and that's right next to that shot where it's kind of sped up. And that bit makes it feel like an amateur film. Other than that, it's great. Those two shots, especially being next to each other, I'm like, ugh.
I didn't notice that at all.
Yeah.
Do you think it's...
I watched this a few times, maybe it's that, but...
Do you think it's intentional to make you feel uncomfortable?
No, I think they've...
Do you think it's a mistake?
I don't think it's a mistake. I think it's to do with... The bit where they stand up, I assume they just didn't stand up fast enough. And he really wanted it to be like, thump. Like, because it is like a musical beat. It's like, thump.
Yeah.
I assume it's to do with that, which is fair enough. When it comes to the feet and the weird, like, frame rate, I can only imagine it's like maybe something to do with it being at the angle it's at and it being a moving camera. Maybe they like tried to steady it digitally, if you know what I mean. Like maybe something like that. I don't know. Maybe it was a case. Maybe that's also sped up. It just isn't as apparent.
Yeah.
Or like slowed down or something.
Okay.
But yeah, those two bits that really kind of took me out of it. I mean, that's kind of it in terms of the bad for me.
Okay, all right. Yeah, as I said, I don't think I have anything bad I want to talk about. I've got two nitpicks.
Ooh.
One of them's good, one of them's bad.
Okay, go for it.
Good or bad?
Let's go bad first. Let me end on a good one.
Okay, so this is a nitpick. He uses the F word and the R word.
Yeah.
Which, like, it's a nitpick because it does work for his character.
Yeah.
But I feel like there are ways to make him a presence. Like, the rest of his dialogue works as a presence without having to use that kind of language.
Yeah, I feel that. I was thinking about that actually while we were watching it.
Yeah.
Enough. I personally fall more into the thing of I believe the character would say it.
Yeah, yeah.
And like we're not meant to agree with him.
No,
like, it's a negative thing.
I've
for
put
him
it in
to say
nitpicks
on
for a
purpose.
reason.
No, I know what you're saying. I do think it's a conversation to be had at the very least. Do you know what I mean?
It makes you uncomfortable, but then it's like that's the point of his character. He's meant to make you feel uncomfortable,
especially with the fact that he's like a person of authority and he's like a teacher.
Yeah, exactly. It's like kind of
insanely saying the stuff he's saying. Fuck.
I don't know. Maybe they tried it without and it didn't work as well, or whatever. I don't know. It just makes me feel a bit weird because I feel like there are ways to get that performance across without using that kind of language. But maybe it's a hindsight thing as well. You know, it was made in 2013.
2013 just different.
So maybe
time.
that was okay
like
at the time.
Threw those words around a lot.
Probably, yeah.
I do wonder if it's
ago.
a case of also like because I think there's something to be said about there being truth to how characters talk and what characters say.
Yes.
And I do wonder if you took that sort of stuff out of what he's saying. I do wonder how noticeable it would be.
If it would take away some of his power.
Yeah, some of the like spite in his voice and stuff.
No, I think
but then it's like, how would you know? Like,
I think these kind of conversations are really interesting because it's like, I think you can always make the argument. It's like, well, that's their character. That's what they would say.
Yeah.
And also, you can always make the argument of what is inappropriate language. We don't use that kind of language anymore.
Yeah.
It's like it's such an interesting.
It's very interesting
debate to have because I don't think there's necessarily a right answer.
I don't think there's a right answer. I think it is the thing of there just needs to be a conversation. Yeah. If there's not, then what's the point?
Yeah, like, exactly. Like, why are you using it?
Yeah, I think if you should be able to justify it in some sense as to why you're using language in a certain way. And sometimes I do think that justification can't be as simple as the character would say it. Yeah. And it would be weird if they didn't. Yeah. It's like, as much as people... I don't think it gets that much slack, but as much as there are people who will be like annoyed about like Django Unchained, say, using the N-word, it's like, it would be weird if they didn't.
Yeah, it does make sense in that context.
Exactly.
It
it's
makes
literally
sense.
a film about like slavery, and specifically like very realistic depiction, arguably. Yeah, and like it would be odd if not a single person in that film said that word.
Yeah, but then in modern society, you know that it's unacceptable to.
Exactly.
You know, like it's an interesting one. It's a very interesting one.
What's your good nitpick?
My good nitpick is I put this in.
I'm so curious what this means
because I didn't notice it. Tess noticed it.
Oh, okay.
And I've been thinking about it. We watched this yesterday, so I've been thinking about it all day, and she said that in the film he doesn't actually do any conducting. As a conductor, he doesn't conduct anything. He just kind of
stands there moving his hands a little bit, but not really.
Not only at the start, he counts them in and then that's it. And she said that Whiplash is a very hard song to play. And the whole point of a conductor is to keep people on time.
Yeah.
And him getting angry at Neiman is like, well, actually, he should be keeping him to time by conducting.
Interesting.
And I'm like, I think
that's intentional.
it was intentional.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it because I'm not a music person. I don't know. I don't know what a conductor... Like, obviously, I know they've got the stick and they go like that, but I don't know what that means, really.
Yeah, I kind of noticed it, but not really.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know, I get you.
I didn't notice that he wasn't doing it.
Didn't.
And I think it's intentional. I think it's like he expects them to be on such a level that they don't need a conductor.
Which is insane.
Which is insane.
What's his job then?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's to bully them, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's why I put it in nitpicks, because it's not something I noticed, but it feels
maybe
good. It feels maybe
yeah.
intentional.
I do know that I'm curious now. I want to go back and watch this. I want to watch the film in general again.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I want to go back and see that scene again in the film to see if he's conducting in that scene in the film. Because I know that at the end of the film he's conducting, like, properly.
Yeah, but that's because he's on stage and he can't be
exactly.
mean.
That's what I mean. I wonder if that's the case, then I think it would definitely be intentional. If then at the beginning of the film he also isn't.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that is a good nitpick.
Do you have any nitpicks?
My nitpick is that he throws the guy out for not knowing that he's out of tune.
Yes.
And then says, for the record, you're out of tune.
Yeah.
That guy also didn't know he was out of tune. And he doesn't throw him out.
That's very true.
That bothers me. And he's like, but he didn't know, and that's worse. It's like, this guy didn't seem to know.
Yeah.
Unless you're saying he's a liar, like, and he just knew and he didn't want to say, which maybe was the case.
It feels to me, the point of that scene was
power trip.
It's
not even power trip, like a
just power,
yeah.
right? It's just a massive display of power to kick this guy out. And then it's that additional twist of like making it's like it's personal. It's not even about his performance, right? It's personal. It's like, I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah.
I want him out. And he obviously likes the other guy because he was out of tune and he let him stay. Do you know what I mean? It feels like a playing favourites kind of
it's gaslighting,
moment.
Essentially.
Yeah.
It's gaslighting. It's negging people. Like, in the room, it's like, you were bad, but I let you stay. And it's like, whew, I guess he likes me.
Yeah.
It's like...
I think it's intentional that it felt weird.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's good.
But yeah.
Good film overall.
Yeah, if
really
you...
enjoyed it.
Okay, Jake, if you,
Yes.
for the last time ever, would you...
I don't think we did this in Curse of the Secret Lake.
We did, so maybe it is the last time ever.
Yeah.
If you joined a prestigious group of students playing music, okay,
we're already in Fantasyland.
And you were playing the drums.
Yep.
Okay. And then the short film Whiplash came in, and everyone stood to attention.
Mm-hmm.
And the short film Whiplash wants you to play the drums for a bit with him, with the room, musicians.
Yeah.
And you start playing, and he's like, "Whoa, we got the new Buddy Rich over here." And everyone was like, "Ho ho ho!" Then he threw a chair at you, and he said, "Not my tempo." Do you try and achieve his tempo, or do you leave?
I throw the chair back at him.
Not one of the options.
And then I get his tempo perfectly right.
Oh, a display of power in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
That's what I would do.
Interesting. What would I do?
Run away. Run a mile. You wouldn't even go for the door. You go for the window behind.
I'd go, I'm rushing.
Out of here.
Yeah. Then I run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to put up with this shit. I even like music. Playing it anyway.
You sit in silence at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you sit in your room with no
sit
windows.
In silence and bob my head.
Yeah, you're like that guy in Inside. Is it called Inside?
The hit Disney film?
No. The one where he's got multiple personality disorder and he's crazy and he's sitting in a room.
Glass.
Yes. No, the short film. The short film we
the
reviewed.
short film we reviewed. I don't remember any of those. I think it was Inside. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
At the start, he's sitting in a room.
You want to answer a question or three? Oh wait, no.
Do you want to answer a question or three?
It's time for the quiz.
Uh-oh.
For the penultimate time.
It's my last chance to get any points.
Yeah, it is.
That's fucking upsetting. Okay.
I'm going to ask Alex 3 film questions. If he gets all 3 right or all 3 wrong, he gets the chance for a bonus point. Are we ready to begin?
Yeah. What would you call those bonus points?
We'll get there when we get there.
Okay.
Question 1. Who said what? I want to go to Egypt and Japan and open orphanages. A chain of them. Question 2. In March in 2002, history was made when two African-American actors took home both of the year's top acting awards. But for which films did Halle Berry and Denzel Washington triumph? Halle Berry?
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Wait, both of the films?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, can I just say something really quick? This is so funny. Just this morning, I watched Denzel's Oscar speech from this year because I watched the film he won it for just the other day. I rewatched it. And then I remembered that Halle Berry won that year and how she's still, I believe, still the only African-American woman to win a Best Actress Oscar. And how problematic it is that it's just Halle Berry.
That's mad.
Not even that good an actress. No offense, Halle Berry.
I swear there's been more since then.
For Best Actress.
Wild.
Best Actress specifically.
Yeah.
I also have no idea what film she did. This isn't fair. There's two answers to this
there is
question.
two.
Okay, carry on, sorry.
From which film? Dad, what if I'm not the future of House Atreides? A great man doesn't seek to lead. He is called to it. But if your answer is no, you still be the only thing I ever needed you to be. My son.
That is annoying. I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I think I might have a clean sweep on this. Can we agree that I get half a point if I get one of the films? Because
yeah, okay,
it's
fine.
two different.
Yeah.
That's kind of
fine.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I think I might have Halle's, but I don't know. Can we confirm really quick? Is this an actor? I'm guessing, or a character?
An actor.
It's an actor. Fuck. So is it a real thing someone said?
We've done so many of these.
I hate these ones.
Yeah,
That's
me too. These are the
insane.
worst
It's
ones.
Can I just say what I thought was going on was I thought this was a quote from Zoolander.
Oh yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's insane. This is actually something someone said.
To be fair, that's not a bad guess. Do you know what I mean? It's
Ooh.
no, on the whole, it's he does do that.
Yeah, right?
But
that's what I mean. If this is a real person, it's kind of scary that they have the same thought as Zoolander. Sorry, can you say the quote again?
I want to go to Egypt and Japan and open orphanages. A chain of them.
You can't have a chain of orphanages. That's so bad.
Absolutely mad. It's actually Bruce Wayne.
There's somebody really specific popping up in my head. It'd be so funny if it was them.
Go on.
I mean, wait, let me think for a second.
I don't think you're going to get this.
It'd be so funny if I did.
It will be very funny.
There's, two names pop into my head. One because I think they'd say it, and one because I think there's some logic. No, there's not. There's one that I'm and this isn't my answer. Angelina Jolie comes into my head just because she keeps adopting kids.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Or she did. I don't think it's her because I don't think she would say that. She would just adopt a kid. Is it Cameron Diaz?
It is not.
Is it a woman out of curiosity?
It is, yeah. Okay. I'll just say one of the answers previously has already been Angelina Jolie, so I don't think they'd do it again.
Interesting. I don't think it's Angelina. Yeah, Cameron Diaz feels like something she would say. Is it Gwyneth Paltrow?
No, it's a different generation.
Different generation?
Yeah.
Older? Younger? Younger? Who's
Yeah.
dumb and young? Who's dumb?
It's quite funny.
The only person who's coming to mind is Zendaya, but it's not Zendaya.
No, it's not Zendaya.
Okay,
Zendaya's
thank
not
God
as
for
stupid.
that. Thank God. I don't know. Who is it?
Lindsay Lohan.
Fucking hell. It's I've jumped a generation, I think. I went from Cam Diaz to Zendaya, then Lindsay Lohan is in the middle of that.
Yes, she is.
Okay, yeah, I would never have got that.
No, mad. Question 2 is the Oscars one.
Yeah, so Denzel Washington won for Training Day. 'Cause it's a
Of
great
course,
film.
yes.
Halle Berry, I'm trying to think of big films she's been in.
Okay.
I think, this isn't my answer yet, but just my working out. I think it might be Swordfish.
Okay.
I know that was a big film she did. That was also the same night that Sidney Poitier won an Oscar, which is insane. So it's Halle Berry, Denzel Washington, and Sidney Poitier, who's a huge, famous black actor who, from before sort of their generation.
Yeah.
I want to say it was a commemorative.
Do you know what he won for?
I think it was commemorative. I think it was
for a previous one.
Yeah, because it was so much work he had done before, and he had never won because of
Right.
the structures and everything, the powers.
Racism.
Yeah. And then famously in what year was this? 2002.
Yes, that's what the question is. Yeah.
In 2002, obviously we ended racism.
Clearly, the Oscars
we
did
did
it.
it.
They gave 3 Oscars out to
Yeah,
black
they were
people.
we've done it. We fixed it. And then a
We're
few
gonna
years
wash our hands of
later,
this.
we'll vote in Barack Obama.
And we won't let another female lead actress win for another 30 years.
Exactly. I'm going to guess Swordfish. I can't think of anything else.
Incorrect.
Oh, what is it?
Monsters Ball.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I did know that. That's annoying.
Never heard of it before.
So I get half a point?
Yeah, all right.
It was Denzel. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's
You
fair.
got
It's
the
two
easier
arts,
one,
kind of
but yeah.
bullshit. Though,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, you're gonna get the last one, so
Oh yeah, it's Dune.
which one?
Fuck off. Get fucked. It's the newer one because it's the line from the trailer.
It is the line from the
Yeah,
trailer.
because he goes, "You'll be what you only ever needed to be my son." I thought it was a cool line.
Yeah, it is a good line.
Yeah.
I really wanted to mispronounce House Atreides, but I couldn't bring myself
Well, as
to
soon
do
as you
it.
said it, it made me pause because I was like, I know it. I don't know what I know it from, and then it kind of clocked suddenly.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
Atreides?
Atreides.
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 I used to pronounce it, well, I guess there's no particular way to pronounce it, but like I assume the film way is right. I think I used to pronounce, when I read the book, I pronounced it so differently,
Interesting.
but I don't remember how.
I wish you did.
Yeah.
So.
Arrakis as well, the planet.
Mhm.
I think I pronounced it Arrakis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arrakis.
Yeah, but it's Arrakis.
Fair.
I don't know, man.
Oh,
Love
man.
that film though.
It's a good film. I only watched it once, but I liked it.
film. I'm absolutely sobbing that the second one has been delayed by like has it been again?
No,
it was March,
I'm
right?
pretty sure it was delayed before, wasn't it?
Oh, by a year, yeah.
Yeah, and then it got delayed again.
Very much upsetting, but yeah, it's March, so it's not too far, but
Yeah, it's not
still
too far,
very
but still.
upsetting.
When did the first one come out? 2021.
One.
That's insane.
Yeah.
3 years.
I can't believe that. No, it's 2023 this year.
Yeah, I know, but it's going to
So
come out in 2024.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
It's going to come out in March. Very excited for it though.
Do I get a bonus or a victory lap? Sorry, a pity point? Technically, I only got one right.
No, you either take the half point or the
Or gamble
the
for a
pity
full
point.
point. That's bullshit.
That's where we're at.
Can I hear the question first?
Nope.
Fuck it, I'm gonna gamble.
You're gonna
baby.
gamble?
Yeah, I'm gonna gamble.
1, 2, or 3.
Let's go for 1.
January Jones has 2 sisters called Gina Jones and JC Jones.
I would like to change my decision, Bob. No, let me think. JC Jones and Gina Jones.
Yeah.
How was JC spelled?
Jacey.
Lame.
Yeah. Incorrect spelling in my opinion.
Incorrect. That could just be true, but I don't know if it is. I feel like it might be a trick one where it's like partially correct. Like she actually has one, or one of her sisters is called.
Oh,
one of
okay,
those
and they've
names.
changed the other name.
Yeah, it could be that. Can you read it again, quick?
What extra insight are
I
you
don't
going
know.
to
I
get?
just want to hear it.
January Jones has 2 sisters called Gina Jones and JC Jones.
True.
It is true. You got yourself an extra half point.
What? No. It's a point. Oh, I guess it was actually
Yeah.
a half point technically. Can I hear the other ones?
The red carpet at the Oscars ceremony at the Kodak Theatre is about 500 feet long.
True.
Yeah, they measured it with actual feet.
Ew.
George Clooney had a trial to play professional baseball.
False.
True.
Oh. I should have guessed true. If it's weird, it's always true.
That's a full house of trues.
Oof. Never saw that coming.
Well, if you've enjoyed listening, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Bing.
And if you really love us, maybe you leave a little comment.
Ooh, what's the comment of the week? What's your favourite, if you could have any chair for it,
No, this is bad.
if you could...
What's your favourite Damien Chazelle film?
Ooh, and why? Is it Whiplash?
He's only on 3, right? Whiplash,
4.
La La Land,
First
Babylon.
Man.
First Man.
Everyone forgets
Everyone-
First Man.
For a good reason.
Uh-oh. I've never seen that. I have no idea what it's like.
Neither have I.
I don't know
I've seen
anyone who
Babylon
knows what
either.
it's like. Babylon I want to watch, I just haven't watched it.
I've heard people say it's good.
I've heard like nothing basically.
Okay.
Which is more damning maybe, I don't know.
I think maybe I've heard one person say it's good,
Ugh.
and no one else has ever spoken about it.
Yeah,
It was on it last Christmas, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What were you doing when Whiplash came out in 2014? That's the comment. Comment exactly what you were doing the moment Whiplash came out. Look up the date it came out. I don't know what it is. Put it on the screen, Jake.
I'm gonna look it up right now so I can just say it.
Ugh, lame.
I hate editing.
Lame.
January 16th, 2015.
Okay, where were you in January 16th, 2015, and what were you doing?
I was doing a mock exam
I was watching Whiplash.
for my
You
GCSEs.
made me sick. You made me absolutely sick. Yeah, what were you doing in 2015 on January 16th, was it? That's the question.
14th, I think I said.
I think you said 16th.
Okay, we'll go with that. I'm not looking at it again.
That's the comment you have to leave down below.
What were you doing when Whiplash came out?
I was seeing Whiplash. I remember going to see it.
I did not see it until it was out on DVD.
Loser. But until next time, for the last time we're going to say this, until we do the special episodes and the review, you won't hear us.
But we'll see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.